Hey there, everyone. My name is Kevin Ellis, also known as Multizord, and we are filming on February 28th, 2016, and this is episode number 105. We would love to hear from you guys, of course, as always. Send your emails to dearcloverfromblizzpro@gmail.com. So we look forward to hearing from you. For the meantime, let's get into some Blizzard news.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Hey everyone, good to see you guys. This week has mostly been filled with WCS hype, so let's get right into that. The long-anticipated championship at Katowice takes place in just a few days, and I'm super excited to see some of our favorite players, among those Lilbo, Mana, Polt, Bunny, Marine Lord, Hydra, and more. But you know what excites me most about this whole tournament? Is the fact that the majority of the players are foreigners. This has the potential to be one of the more turbulent tournaments that we could ever see in the pro scene. I mean, is a foreigner finally going to defeat a Korean professional? I like to live in hope. Meanwhile, in Pro League, the lineup is as follows. Samsung Galaxy versus SKTT1 and CJ Entis, versus the generic Green Wings. That match is going to take place on 29th of February, so we will discuss those results next week. So, on Friday, a thing occurred that should have occurred a long time ago, but didn't until now, which is a big deal, and that is Starcraft Esports finally has an official Twitter account, and you can go and follow them on Twitter at esportsstarcraft, and that's a shared S between the two words, and you can follow them to get all of the English updates from the official source. That's pretty exciting. And that's all I've got for Starcraft. What's up with Overwatch?
The world could always use more heroes.
So for all you doll and bobblehead collectors out there, Funko has revealed that they're going to be releasing Overwatch characters starting in May. And currently on the website they have Tracer listed as number 92, Reaper as 93, Widowmaker as 94, and Winston as 97. So, I mean, that begs the question, where the fuck are 95 and 96? Surely they're going to come out with all of these eventually, but, I'll be interested to see how some of them turn out. I'm kind of picturing Diva as this just giant robot body with tiny little legs or something. We'll see how it all turns out. But anyway, let us know in the comments, what you think about these, and we're going to link the website down there as well. So something to check out if you're interested in those sorts of things. But anyway, in other news, one of our behind-the-scenes guys, Shadow, was almost arrested after threatening several people across state lines when his new PC parts were denied due to suspicious activity with his credit card. And this all happened Thursday, right as Play Overwatch on Twitter put out a tweet about a new beta wave that he doesn't apparently have the right parts for, and yeah, it didn't work out for him, but it didn't work out for me either. There was a new wave of accounts from the Americas, Europe, and Asia opt-in pools that were brought in really late on just some random evening this week. So if you haven't gotten the email yet, check that. Check just your account, see if the play button's working, on the launcher and all that. But yeah, no luck here yet again. So what can you do? So in other news, a user named Alistair made a post on the forums which he himself described as long and impossible to respond to on a point-by-point basis. However, Jeff Kaplan, the senior game director himself, did exactly that and responded to numerous suggestions that he had listed there, most of which is really super detailed features about the UI and certain map design decisions that they made and that sort of thing. For example, from this we learned that the team is looking to change around the way Numbani looks as a map, so it doesn't feel quite so deserted. Jeff Kaplan says they've already implemented changes that haven't gone live yet that are going to make the map feel more lived in. So we'll see how that ends up looking. Another suggestion Jeff Kaplan took very seriously was the idea of community-created sprays, which he says they don't have the technology to do right now, but want to in the future. And I'm a little concerned by this. Community-created sprays where you can graffiti the world with your own creation. I've got to think they've got to have some sort of filter on these, because if not, there's going to be people drawing dicks all over the place. There's just going to be dick, dick, dick all over the walls. And I kind of want to live in that future Earth, personally. But we'll see what they do when they start implementing that sort of thing. But in the meantime, let's just go ahead and talk about Hearthstone, where there are not very many dick art pieces out there, oddly.
Pull up a chair by the hearth.
All right, so the first thing I have to mention is that our podcast, Well Met, actually had the senior producer Yang Wu on for their 50th episode, and this is a huge deal. I mean, one, you guys made it to 50 episodes, and that's incredible. You had new sounders and all that stuff added on, and it sounded great, by the way. But Yang Wu's interview was absolutely incredible. And I'm not saying this as a fellow Blizz Pro guy trying to plug a Blizz Pro deal. I genuinely am a fan of this podcast and check it out every week. And this one was probably the best episode you guys have done by far. And I mean, I like it just in general. But man, if you guys want to check out some details about like where Blizzard thinks about the production process behind the game, certainly a lot of details about how they came to the decision to do the whole standard mode and all that sort of thing. This is definitely an episode you guys have to check out for sure. It was just incredible. So congrats, guys, on 50, and I'm looking forward to 50 more. Absolutely. But in the meantime, we did have a tournament that was a little ways back now, but haven't given you the results yet. That is the America's Winter Preliminaries, which took place. And yeah, your winners are Fibonacci, WTY Bill, Chess Dude 123, and Chalky. So, and again, this was an excellent tournament and an excellent job, yet again, done by the new casters, specifically Kevin Hovdestad and Cora, friends of the show. And so if you can, guys, get out there and show Kevin Hovdestad some love in any way you can, on the forums, on Twitter, whatever. That way we can get him on there again, because I genuinely thought he did a great job. So congrats again there, good sir. And in the meantime, all right, so we had a new Polygon article by Phil Kohler, who also appeared on the Angry Chicken podcast. It's another great podcast if you guys aren't aware, to discuss this article that he put out. And the article describes a meeting between Blizzard's Hearthstone team, headed by Ben Brode, alongside even CEO Mike Morheim and several pro players, streamers, reporters, such as names you might remember, Brian Kibler, Strife Crow, Eloise, Savich, Trump. That is Trump, the pro Hearthstone player, not the American presidential runner guy. You guys are with me. You know what I'm talking about. So, in this meeting, there were several different things discussed, but it was back in September, for one. So this was well before BlizzCon, and in it, they discussed the details about where Hearthstone's going to go from there in terms of creating the new standard format. And the reason it took this long, that is from September all the way to whenever they announced it this year, to announce those details about standard mode is because Blizzard actually took a lot of the suggestions from these players and then went back to the drawing board and started implementing them. For example, Savich was the one to actually suggest that wild mode have its own ladder. Originally, they were just going to have it be its own little casual mode and nothing else. And also, they were originally going to only cycle out the next Ramus cards for the format for this year, but the players suggested that it would be a bigger impact if we also had Goblins versus Gnomes go as well. And really, no one in the room was going to disagree with the fact that it was pretty much Dr. Boom's time to head out of the meta here. So, I hate to say it, I love that card, but good riddance. We need a bit more variety in the 7 mana slot for sure. So, and also from this meeting, we also got a taste of a few of the cards in the classic set that they're looking at to nerf, because again, the classic set's going to just stay in rotation for forever, and they don't want those cards to be too strong. So some of the cards they're looking at nerfing for sure are the Druid cards Force of Nature, Savage Roar, Ancient of Lore, and Keeper of the Grove. But then there are also a couple interesting neutral cards that were mentioned in this article as well. The Leper Gnomes, of course, and also the Knife Juggler, which are 2 cards where I frankly don't know how they're going to make little changes to them. They're going to have to really revamp how those work to make any changes. So with the new expansion announcement on the horizon, what do you guys think that you should be doing to prepare at this point? Right now, again, because I said that the classic set is sticking around forever, they've said, It's really your time. If you're a newer player and you don't have a lot of the just core classic cards, I would work on getting those together right now. Things like Sylvanas, Alexstrasza, some of the class legendaries like Tyrion Fordring for Paladin. Just really good cards that if they stay the way they are going to continue to drive certain decks for as long as the game is supported by Blizzard, which could be forever. So yeah, definitely a time to check out those if you haven't yet. And if you are a bit behind in your collection, or if you're interested in the new standard mode and still think that you're too far behind to get into it, there are some catch-up mechanics for you to do. I, at the very least, would try each week, starting Wednesday, going through Sunday, to keep up on the tavern brawls, if nothing else, because you do get one free pack of the classic set just for getting one win in. And they're typically winnable, at least. Give it a couple tries, get your free pack. You might also work on with the daily quests that you get. If you don't like the quest that you have, just go ahead and click that X in the upper right-hand corner and re-roll it. Very often you get the spectator quest, where you get a free pack just for watching someone win a game. So there's ways for you to catch up and work on this set. And I definitely recommend it right now, because when this expansion comes out, those classic cards are going to be all the more important. Well, that about does it for this week yet again. Be sure to send Clover some email at dearcloverfromblizzpro@gmail.com and leave us some comments below. Let us know what you think. Also, be sure to check out all the other BlizzPro shows live at blizzpro/twitch.tv. On Sunday, we've got Well Met, the Hearthstone podcast. Tuesday, Heroes of the Storm Power Hour. Wednesday, West March Workshop for Diablo. Thursday now has the Payload for Overwatch. Also, be sure to check the Zords out on our podcasts, such as Lords of the Storm, which is now live on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/Lords of the Storm, if you're looking for some more Heroes of the Storm content. And if you're looking for Overwatch, we also have the Cavalry podcast.